Hello students. In this lecture I'm going to just talk a little bit about the different types of neurotransmitters that are found throughout the nervous system. Again, remember the neurotransmitters, they're the chemical messengers that are involved in transmitting information from the presynaptic neuron to the postsynaptic neuron. So they're found at the synapse. And neurotransmitters, all neurotransmitters have a neurotransmitter receptor. And the neurotransmitter binding to a neurotransmitter receptor creates degraded potentials, EPSPs and IPSPs, that ultimately cause an action potential and cause the neuron to fire. Some of these neurotransmitters, one of them we've already seen. Here's the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. And if you remember correctly, the acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter that's involved at the neuromuscular junction and involved in controlling our skeletal muscles. So acetylcholine is one we've seen, and it's controlling skeletal muscles. It's found at the neuromuscular junction. Some of the other neurotransmitters we have a neurotransmitter called norepinephrine. We also have a neurotransmitter called epinephrine. These will be very important in the autonomic nervous system, which we'll be covering in the upcoming chapters. Some other neurotransmitters, here's a dopamine and serotonin. They're neurotransmitters found in the central nervous system. Histamine is a neurotransmitter that's found in the central nervous system. Again, with these neurotransmitters, we're not going to get into detail on neurotransmitters. I just kind of want to introduce them and show you that what are some of the different neurotransmitters that are found. And notice these all have kind of a ring-like structure and small very small carbon chains. Now here's a neurotransmitter called GABA, and here's glutamate and glycine. Now these neurotransmitters, they're a type of amino acid. And remember, amino acids, they're the building block for proteins. And so certain amino acids can act as neurotransmitters. Now here are some, these neurotransmitters, these neurotransmitters are peptides. In this case, they're very small proteins. There are actually several amino acids chained together to form a small peptide or a small protein. And that includes neurotransmitters such as the endorphins, the tachykinins, somatostatin, and cholecystokinin. These are all different types of neurotransmitters that are actually very small peptides. And then finally, here's another class of neurotransmitters. It turns out ATP and adenosine can act as neurotransmitters. And these are a molecule there, purine, what is called a purine. These are actually molecules that are found, ATP is a source of cellular energy, but it can act as a neurotransmitter. And this adenosine, this is a nucleotide found in DNA, and it will end up acting as a neurotransmitter. And then finally what we have, it turns out there's certain gases and lipids can act as neurotransmitters. Nitric acid, carbon monoxide, and endocannabinoids, they are all neurotransmitters. And these are actual gases that can act as neurotransmitters. So what we find then in kind of reviewing with neurotransmitters, there's several different classes. There's chemical classes such as with acetylcholine or serotonin or histamine. There's amino acids such as glycine or glutamate that can act as neurotransmitters. There's small peptides such as tachykinins or endorphins that are small peptides that act as neurotransmitters. And then there are purines such as ATP and adenosine that can be neurotransmitters. And finally, certain gases and lipids such as nitric oxide and carbon monoxide can act as neurotransmitters in the central nervous system. Thank you.